What's up, guys? What's up, guys? So we're back and we're finally doing something that's not Flappy Bird. I do want to go back to Flappy Bird to like change the art and stuff, but right now I'm just learning more Unity. And so this is what I've been working on. It's Pong. And up till now, I just followed a tutorial. I'll link it in the description. And I'll show you how it runs. So you just run the game. And it's against a computer right now. So there's a computer, like very basic artificial intelligence, just follows the ball, basically. But yeah, and each time you hit the ball's speed goes up, its velocity goes up. You can see that down here. I'll circle it with the circle, but pay attention to the velocity each time I hit it, or each time the ball bounces off the wall. So that way, like, the game gets harder and harder as time goes on. I'm gonna play until I at least get 1 point against it. But you can see, like, I'm gonna cut to when I actually get a point, and that number's gonna be at like 20. Yo, why is this bot low-key good? Okay, finally. Okay. But basically what I want to add is I want to add a title screen, and I want to add a 2-player mode. So like right now I'm playing against a computer. I want to keep that as an option, but I want to add a mode where you can play with a friend. So for the 2-player, it's like the exact same game. There's just a couple differences. Copy this over. I'll call it 2-player Pong. Let's open it up. So here we have, it's the same thing so far, except I'm gonna rename this player 2 paddle. There's a couple things that need to change. I'm gonna have to make, so right now it's using this computer paddle script. I'm gonna make a new script. I'm gonna call it player 2 paddle. Like I'll open up player paddle. Let's open up player 2 paddle. I'm just gonna delete all of this and then copy all of this over, and then this has to be it has to inherit stuff from a different code thing, a different script called paddle. So for now, for player paddle, we have 2 options for the controls: WASD or the up and down arrows. That means for the 2-player version, I'm gonna make a new script for player 1. So let's do that. And then for all the scripts that I'm gonna do for the 2-player Pong, I'm gonna put them in its own folder. 2-player Pong scripts. We'll call it that. So basically, I don't mix up any of the new scripts with the old scripts. Alright, so here we have this. Now let's open player 1. It's going to be exactly like player 2. I think that was my email. This is also going to inherit from paddle. So the main difference is paddle 2, player 2 is going to be on the right, on the computer side. That's going to take from the arrows. So we just removed this one line. It's only going to check to see if the up arrow is pressed. Player 1 is only going to check if W or S is pressed. Also, I have a fan going on in the back. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'll find out when I edit this video. Now that we have these 2, let's go into player. Now we're going to remove this script, and we're going to add in player 1. It's the exact same thing. It's just the controls are different, a little different. So let's remove computer, player 2. And so this should work. The movement, okay, I'm moving that with the arrows. This works. Let's see. Okay, when I get a score here, yeah, okay, that's what I figured. The only thing is that in the actual code, it's player 2 is still gonna be referred to as the computer, which, you know, if this was like, if I was working with a team or whatever, I would want to change that from computer to player 2. And for that, I would need a whole different game manager. But since it's just me, and since I know this distinction, it should be chill. So I'm going to put in player 1 for player paddle. Player 2 paddle is going to be where the computer paddle goes. Now let's try doing this scores. So should add a score here. Okay, no, it's working. Yeah, that's 2-player Pong. The rest of what I want to do is more UI based. Except for, well, no, it's all going to be UI based from here on out. So I'm going to make the title screen, I'm going to make the buttons, and I'm going to make, I want to make like a little startup sequence. Oh, also first, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to change the font of these numbers to be more Pongy, you know? Just going to make a new folder for the fonts. All right, I just looked up pixel art fonts. We'll use this one. Okay, I dragged it in. I don't know why it was giving me trouble, but I'm gonna just move it to fonts. Delete this because I don't need it. If you go to your canvas, the font's right here. You can just drag and drop, hopefully, I think. Hey, okay. Let's go to player 2 score. Yep, it's right there. I think that looks fine. But I do want to make it bigger. So let's make this 150 maybe. Beautiful. So now let's go back to our, save this, and let's go back to Pong, our normal Pong. Save that, and then let's test it out. Test it out. I'm not letting him beat me. I'm not letting him get a single. Okay, so now we did 2-player mode, we did the font change. Now we just need the title screen and buttons to switch between modes. All right, so I'm here in Pascal. I'm still trying to figure out what's like the most optimal way to go about doing this stuff. This is just like a guide, and then I'll erase it later, just so I don't like overshoot some of this stuff. Straight line. That looks about right. Okay, now let's erase this. The inside of here is just gonna be black. Okay, so this is the art I made. I have the 2 buttons and the title screen. Wait, I actually already downloaded it, but just move it here.
Are you digging in me?
All right, so make a new scene. Let's open it up. This is our main camera. Just right off the bat, let's change the color. Where is that? Skybox, solid color. Okay, black. This is all from memory, so I might be very wrong. But let's make a canvas, then let's make a sprite image. This should work, and I'll call it title. Sprites, I made this. Let me go to sprite editor. So this is one of them. I'm not exactly sure how to get rid of them, but I just want this to expand to be all of Pong. And let's go to our title. Let's drag this thing down into our source image. Then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do repeat. The reason I do that is so that when I expand it, it stays as pixels and not like it doesn't get misshapen, you know? Like I think it is kind of getting a little warped. Yeah, you can see it's kind of blurry. You can see it's kind of blurry, at least to me. Okay, there we go. There we go. That fixed it. So we have Pong. Okay, but now we're going to want to import a button. So we're going to go to UI, legacy button. We're going to call this 1-player button. And so this is going to take a sprite up here. Yep. Oh, in our button, it comes with the text. I think we can just delete that. Now let's duplicate this. Control D. We'll call this one 2-player button stuff 1. I should have given this a better name, but yeah, we have our buttons. The scene here, I believe this is our buttons like hitbox, so it should work. This looks good. Honestly, this looks good. Now what we need to do is actual coding stuff, and I'm just gonna cut to that. This is code I used for my Flappy Bird main menu, so I'm using that here too.
You're the small dog.
All right, so I did a little something off screen, but no, all I did was I I changed the highlight color to something else so I could actually tell if the button was about to be clicked. I had a problem where the button did not, like when I clicked the button, nothing happened, and that's because I deleted event system. So the main script is this. You make sure to import Unity engine.scene management function for the 1-player mode, function for the 2-player mode, and then it'll take you to that right there. And if you want to know exactly what this does in a little more detail, not much more detail, sorry, it's in my Flappy Bird video where I make the main menu. And then I'm gonna make a button to quit, but I haven't done that yet. Going back to Pong, if we run the game, we can see as we hover over it, it highlights to the different modes. If we press 1 player, it starts the 1-player mode. That's the W. That's the W. Now, I also want to make it sort of give like a countdown before the actual game starts. So I got to figure out how to do that. There's going to be 2 different countdowns. One's going to be for 1 player, obviously, and the other one's going to be for 2-player. Yeah, I'll probably make that in a different video, but that's the video. So for Pong so far, we have the buttons, all the little things switching between, and the 2-player mode. Pretty cool stuff.